Hello everyone! I'm spending the day with a real Stobart energy lorry. But look! Something's missing! Do you know what it is? Yes! That's it! We're missing the big trailer from the back. Let's hook it on. This is Andy, and he's the driver of this lorry. Andy starts the engine by turning this key. He puts the lorry in reverse gear and carefully backs towards the trailer. Back a bit, Andy. Little bit more. There. Andy now has to do a few things to fully connect the trailer. He has to connect the hydraulic pipes and electrical lines. This means everything on the trailer can now be controlled from the cab. Andy then winds the trailer legs up. He turns off the trailer brake and fits the number plate onto the back. It's then back into the cab to test that everything's all attached. Brilliant! That looks a lot more like a lorry now. Andy, what's the best thing about driving a lorry?
I really love life on the open road. You get to see a lot of interesting places around the country. Would you like to see my truck?
Yes, please. The front part of the lorry is called the cab, and this is where the driver sits.
So Gecko, this is my cab. It's got all the usual things that you'd expect and some special surprises too. This is a steering wheel. It goes up and down and every position that you'd want it to go. It's really, really good. Just here, this switch here, that turns all the lights on. And this here is the all-important horn. And I also have a bed in the back. It's really, really comfy.
Because Andy has to do very long drives, his cosy cabin has a comfy bed for him to sleep in at night. There's all sorts of other things in here to make sure Andy's comfortable for his long journeys. There's some curtains and a reading light. Wakey wakey, Andy! It's time to go out on the road, so before the journey, Andy walks around the lorry doing his safety checks. Wow, there's a lot of wheels to check. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Each Stobart lorry is unique and gets given its own name. This lorry is called Demi Nicole.
Right Gecko, we're good to go. Hop in.
We're off to pick up some waste wood that would normally go straight in the bin. Stobart Energy pick up this wood in their lorries and turn it into electricity to power homes. It's amazing. Andy presses a button to open the roof sheet of the empty trailer. He then jumps back in the cab where it's safe. This very clever vehicle is called a grab, and it's used to load up Andy's trailer. The driver uses the grabber to pick up lots of wood and drop it into the back. To make sure the driver of the grab can see over the top of the trailer, the cab can go up and down. Wow, I've never seen that before. It looks like we're full, so it's time for Andy to put the top back on, hop back in, and take this waste wood back to base. Back at base, Andy opens the back doors. He presses this button to start emptying the trailer. Inside the trailer is an amazing moving floor, which moves the wood backwards. It then tips out of the back. Once out, it's then time for another big vehicle to come along and pick up the wood. This is called a loading shovel, and it loads the wood into this big machine, which chops it into much smaller pieces. These small pieces have now become special wood fuel, which can be burned in a power station. This amazing material has come from wood that would normally have been buried underground as rubbish. The lorry is reloaded with the wood fuel and then driven to the special biomass power station. This power station can power 35,000 homes. Andy carefully reverses into the bay and tips the wood fuel off. The wood fuel travels underground, up a conveyor belt, and is then burned, heating water to produce steam, a bit like a steam train. The steam turns a big turbine, or wheel, which creates electricity. Thanks very much to Andy and all the team here at Stobart Energy for teaching us all about this amazing lorry and how it helps to create electricity. I'll see you again soon. Bye! Hello everyone! I'm here in London with this special double-decker tour bus. But it looks like something's missing from this bus. Wow! Look at that! There's no roof on this bus. I can see everything up here. There's loads of tall buildings to see in London, and because there's no silly roof in the way, you can see right up to the sky. Every year, around 1 million people from all over the world come to London and take a sightseeing tour with the original tour company. Each bus has its own tour guide who teaches the passengers all about special places in London and about the history of this amazing city. Today, we're going to go on a London sightseeing tour of our own.
Come on, Gecko, hop aboard.
Glenn is the driver of this bus, and he makes sure he drives as smoothly as possible around the London streets.
Right, Gecko, would you like a job?
Ooh, what sort of job?
We need a tour guide.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am your tour guide for today, and together we're going to visit the amazing sights of London. London is the capital city of the United Kingdom, and the city grew around the river that goes right through the middle of it. This river is called the River Thames, and today our bus is going to cross the river on some famous bridges. Ooh, look at this amazing palace. It looks a bit like my house, but my garage is a bit bigger. This is Buckingham Palace. Does anybody know who lives here? I'll give you a clue. Her name is Elizabeth, and she's been the ruler of England for over 60 years. It's my old friend, the Queen of England. Let's go and have a cup of tea. Hello, we're here to see the Queen. Hello? Queen? Queen? Queenie? Queen? Queen? I don't think she's in. Queen! Never mind. Let's visit our next London location. Wow! This is probably the most famous clock in the world. This is Big Ben, and it's been bonging and telling the time for over 150 years. It's actually the bell inside the clock tower that's called Big Ben. The clock tower itself is called the Elizabeth Tower, named after my friend, Queen Elizabeth. Just next door to Big Ben are the Houses of Parliament. They're some of the most important buildings in the United Kingdom. It's where the main decisions are made on how to run the country. Wow, I just love being able to see everything from this open-top tour bus. I'm just glad it isn't raining though. What's this? It looks like a giant fairground ride. This is called the London Eye, and it's one of the biggest observation wheels in the world. It goes around very slowly, but that's so you can get a proper view of everything around you. We're about to go over a very famous bridge. You've probably heard a song about it. I hope the song doesn't come true. It goes something like this. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Build it up with silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold, my fair lady. Phew, we made it. We're now on our way towards the tallest building, not just in London, but in the whole of Western Europe. Wow! It looks like it's touching the sky. That must be why they call it a skyscraper. The Shard has 95 floors, and there are 44 super fast lifts inside, some of which are double-decker, a bit like this bus. Here's one more bridge. This one's called Tower Bridge, and it has 2 towers at each side. Amazingly, the middle part of the bridge can be lifted to allow ships to pass underneath. And here's the Tower of London. Lots of prisoners have been kept at the tower through history. There's no prisoners in there now, but this is where the crown jewels are kept. These are the very precious jewels that the Queen wears on special occasions. Now it's back along the embankment towards Westminster. We turn right at the Houses of Parliament and come past Downing Street, which is where another one of my friends lives, the Prime Minister. Let's pop in and say hello. I think they live around here somewhere. This is the one. Number 10 Downing Street. Prime Minister! Primey! Prime Minister! Oh dear, they must be out as well. I guess they must be very busy running the country. Oh well, back on the bus. We're now passing Trafalgar Square. The tall statue is called Nelson's Column. It was built to remember the hero, Admiral Horatio Nelson. And this is Piccadilly Circus. Before you get too excited, this isn't a real circus. The name Piccadilly Circus comes from the fact there used to be a big circular roundabout here. What a shame there aren't any clowns, tightrope walkers, or trapeze artists here. here we are back at base at the end of our tour. I've loved learning all about London today. See if you can tell your mummy or daddy an amazing fact about London now. Thanks very much to Glenn and all the team at the original tour for taking us around London on their amazing open-top bus. We'll see you again soon. Bye! Hello everyone! I'm at a racetrack in Spain to meet some really fast racing cars. These Formula E racing cars are special because they're powered by electricity. This is Robin and this is Sam. They're racing drivers for the Envision Virgin Racing Formula E team. They're also teammates. Their job is to drive around the racetrack in the fastest time possible and hopefully win the race. Today, the team are testing out their cars before the racing season begins. Testing's like practice, and practice makes perfect. But first, we need to put the car together. First, the mechanics cool down the car with dry ice, which is a super cold gas. Then they place the rear wing into position and screw into place. The front nose of the car is attached next. Once the helpful mechanics have put the car together, it's time for the drivers to get ready. Racing drivers wear these big helmets to keep them super safe when out on the track. It connects to a neck guard, which keeps the driver nice and secure. They also wear these really smart overalls, which show their team colours. I guess that means I'm in the Envision Virgin Racing team too. Then the gloves go on to protect their hands. After a quick chat with the team engineer, it's time for the drivers to strap themselves into the car. First, Sam jumps in. Then Robin. Both drivers have different helmets, so the team know who's who out on the track. Robin has an orange helmet, and Sam has a white one. Formula E cars have detachable steering wheels. That means they can take them off, so the driver can squeeze into the car and then put them back on again, ready to race. The mechanics do some last-minute checks on the car. And then it's ready to get out onto the track. The pit crew are all part of the same team, and they check that the track is clear. The driver gives a thumbs up to say he's ready, and the crew give him the go-ahead. Both Sam and Robin leave their garages and drive down to the pit lane. We're almost ready to race. Both cars stop at the end of the pit lane and wait to be told to enter the track. If a car is going past, they can't join the track yet, as that would cause a crash. Ready? Set? Go! Ready? Set? Go! This is the bit I've been looking forward to the most. Look how fast these cars can go. In fact, the top speed of a Formula E racing car is 150 miles per hour. That's as fast as the flight dive of a golden eagle. Now the other teams are out on the track. It's time to see who can get the fastest time. This car's misjudged the turn. Whoa, he spun out of control. Can anyone go round this corner correctly? Here's our friend Robin. I hope he doesn't mess it up. Way, he's done it. Well done, Robin. Formula E racing cars are powered by electricity, which means they don't burn any dirty fuel. This is much better for the environment, while still having lots of fun. It also means the cars are a lot quieter than normal race cars. Not only do the drivers have to drive around the track, they always need to be checking their energy levels, car temperature, and they need to be speaking to their engineers, all whilst driving. It's a real team effort from everyone. Look, there's a live map of where everyone is on the racing track. I think we've got the call to go back into the pits. The cars slow down and enter the pit lane. The pit crew come out to greet them. Racing cars don't have a reverse gear, so the team have to push the cars back into the garage themselves. Oof, that looks heavy. That's one in. And here's the other. As soon as the car enters the garage, the crew test the temperature of the car. It's a bit like when your mummy or daddy check your forehead when you're not feeling very well. It's a good way to find out how you're feeling. The car seems a little hot, so it's cooled down with these fans. I think Sam might be hot too. Formula E is a real team game, and it's not just the two drivers that do all of the work. There are more than 50 people in the Envision Virgin Racing team. There's lots of different jobs, like engineers, mechanics, or technicians. The crew have the incredibly important job of making sure the car is the best it can possibly be. And that means looking after it too. The car's worn all its tyres on the track, burning all that rubber on the baking hot road. So we need a fresh new set. This is the control room, home to the clever technicians and engineers. It's their job to keep a close eye on the car whilst it's on the track and come up with new ways to make the car go even faster. It's with these big headsets that they talk to the drivers when they're out on the racetrack. Here comes Sam now. This is his chance to talk to his team and chat about how the car is performing. They all work together to make the car faster so that they can win lots of races. After this meeting, it's time to make some small changes to the car. And then we're back on the track.
Racing cars are super speedy, powered by a battery pack. Electric cars are hard to beat, they whiz around the racing track. Whoa, speeding round and round. Whoa, they're the fastest in town. Whoa, driving really fast, racing cars go zoom as they fly past. Look at the racing drivers, they are sitting really low. They can skid and slide around like a rocket, you should see them go. Look at them go! Whoa, speeding round and round. Whoa, they're the fastest in town. Whoa, driving really fast. Racing cars go zoom as they fly past. The
team will be testing out the cars all day on this track to make sure they are at their best when it comes to race day. I've had a great day here in Valencia with the Envision Virgin Racing Formula E team. Thanks very much to all the team. I hope you've learned as much as I have about these clean energy racing cars. I'll see you again soon. Bye!